Good day and welcome to my channel. My name is Leonard Utaji, your lesson teacher, and in today's class we shall be looking at physics. So many persons have been expecting this video, of which I have promised most of my students that I'm going to make a video for them on physics. Physics is one of the subjects in senior secondary that makes you a science student, coupled with biology, chemistry, maths of course, and English. I think these are some of the core courses you need to know as a pure science student. So in this channel, I shall be dropping daily lessons on physics for those of you who are interested in the study of physics. Now, before you understand or before you go into the study of physics, you need to ask yourself, what is physics? What is physics all about? Okay? Because most times in the curriculum, most teacher goes ahead to introduce physics without giving you proper orientation on what physics is all about. And in today's class, this is what I will be doing for you. We shall look at the definition of physics. We shall look at the scope of physics, and I'll try to see how I can give you the divisions of physics. What are the areas of physics you need to know about? And thereafter, you may decide to choose which of them you want to specialize on after your senior secondary education. So let's go. What is physics? So many of you must have asked yourself that question, and there are so many definitions, a million of them, about physics. Some are right, some are repetition of others, and some is just a part of what we are going to just a part of the definition of physics. So I'm not saying the definition I'm giving you now is the true definition of physics, but it gives you 90% of the definition of physics. So what is physics? Physics is the study of matter, radiations, and their interactions. 1. The study of matter. 2. Radiation. And the interaction between matter and radiation. So wherever you bring out this definition, I think it summarizes what physics is all about. But the next question you may want to ask yourself is, what is matter? What is matter? Back then in the secondary school, they'll tell you matter is anything that has weight and can occupy space. But of recent, we are made to understand that matter is anything that has mass and occupy a space. There are some things that are weightless but are still matter. So how do you categorize them? So the actual definition now is that matter is anything that have mass and occupy space, because when you get to space, okay, you are weightless. So does that make you not to be a matter? No. So matter is anything that has mass and occupy space. Matter appears everywhere in various forms. That includes me, that includes you, that includes the phone you are holding, that includes whatever you can see around you, including those you can't see that are above this planet Earth. We also refer to them as matter, be it the stars, the galaxies you have been hearing up there, and so many things. So they are also referred to as matter. It has such characteristic properties as mass, temperature, and hardness. So these are some of the characteristics of matter. Anything that has mass, temperature, and hardness, we refer to them as matter. In a similar sense, radiation is omnipresence in the universe, meaning it is everywhere. The light you see is called radiation. Okay, so it is everywhere in the universe. We experience radiations in various forms. For example, as light or heat radiation. So these are things we refer to as radiations. For example, I've made mention of light and heat. Radiation is not matter, although it has some of the properties of matter. Radiation can be described both as electromagnetic wave and as particle called the photon. Neither description alone is adequate, meaning you cannot define radiation as matter holistically, or you cannot define it as photons. And in physics, you get to hear something like wave-particle duality, okay, which means radiation exists both as a matter or as a particle and as a wave. Okay, so you may get to understand that. Niels Bohr was the first to point out that the description are complementary, meaning they go together, okay, depending on certain conditions. Radiation can behave as a wave and as a particle, like I just said. So that is, or this is the definition of matter, of physics, which I have said, physics is the study of matter, radiation, and their interaction. So we shall look at the scope of physics. The scope of physics. What are the areas physics covers? Some persons will tell you this is so broad. Okay, yes, physics is broad, but it has areas it concentrates on. Okay, so we shall look at it, which I will refer to as the scope of physics. So under the scope of physics, physics, once called natural philosophy, forms the underpinning of several other sciences. Yes, you cannot do with agriculture without mentioning physics. In biology, you must mention physics. In chemistry, you must mention physics. In fact, we are made to understand that chemistry is a branch of physics. Okay? You cannot talk about, that's why most times in any sciences you want to do, you will be required to have at least a pass in physics. So what are the scope of physics? 1. Astrophysics may be called the physics of the stars. May be called the physics of the stars. Okay? Astrophysics deals with the study of the stars, the moon, the galaxies, other planetary bodies that are out of the earth. While geophysics is the physics of the earth. Geophysics deals with the study of the earth. Anything you can find on the earth and beneath it, we refer to its study as the geophysics. Chemistry may be considered a branch of atomic physics, which has to do with the composition of substances and the transformation they undergo are determined by the properties of the atoms of the substances. Engineering is now often called applied physics, since the demarcation between engineering and physics may be hard to distinguish. So you can't do engineering without physics, and you can't do physics without engineering. So most of them, they're intertwined. Okay, even the especially laboratories and courses that deals with the properties and structure of matter, you find them both in physics and in engineering. So it will be very difficult for you to differentiate it. So the scope of physics has to do with the study, the astrophysics, and as well as the geophysics. Okay, so anything that has any matter you find within the earth, physics, the study of any matter within the earth is physics, as well as the astrophysics that deals with the study of matter and radiation you find outside of the earth. Okay, so these are said to be the scope of physics. So we shall look at the division of physics. The first division of physics, which happens to be the oldest, is mechanics. Mechanics is a branch of physics that deals with the study of matter in relation to its motion in space and time. So mostly you are being introduced into physics by you studying subjects like forces, velocity, acceleration, and all whatnot, momentum. All this has to do with mechanics. So this is one of the division of physics. We also have thermodynamics. Thermodynamics deals with heat and temperature, heat transfer, latent heat of fusion, and all whatnot. So anything that has to do with temperature and its measurement, we refer to it as thermodynamics. So thermodynamics is a branch of physics that deals with matter in relation to its temperature and measurement. We also have electricity and magnetism. Electricity has done a great deal in the aspect of physics. It has taken humanity to the next level. You're able to see me today because of electricity. And in fact, one of my lecturer, a professor, who said, when God said, change delta E cross delta H equals to light, and there was light. This is change in electromagnetic field and change in electric field cross change in magnetic field is equal to light. So light has so many uses which we can't just keep mentioning. Optics deals with light, eye vision, and what have you. So you discover that some other fields of sciences can't just do without physics. So you must know a little about physics in order for you to process or to progress in that line. In optics, you tend to study lenses, prisms, concave lenses, and convex lenses. So all this falls under the division of optics. Acoustic is also a division of physics that deals with sound, how you hear sound, you hear of the frequency, you hear of the wavelength, and all whatnot. All this you treat under acoustic, including these materials that gives you such sounds and how they can be transmitted. There's also a group of divisions of physics that we refer to them today as modern physics. That includes radioactivity and nuclear physics, atomic and molecular spectra, the quantum theory of matter and radiation. We equally have solid state physics, relativity, high energy physics, including the study of cosmic radiation, and physics of fundamental particles. All these are said to be divisions under physics, and we shall be studying all of them in this channel. So kindly like my videos as you watch, while I recommend that you subscribe to my channel and also follow me on Facebook at my lesson teacher Maths. Turn on the notification bell so as to be notified whenever a new video is being uploaded. You can also use the comment section to interact with me on areas that are still difficult for you to understand, while I recommend you share the link with your friends and families so that they can also benefit from my daily classes. Thank you, and see you in our next class, where we shall be taking them bit by bit until you get to study physics. So see you in our next class, and do have a nice day. Bye bye.